We have reached the end of the 18th row. I make 3 chains. I come to the top of this popcorn stitch. I fasten with a slip stitch. I go into the chain space. I make a chain, and in the same chain space I make 2 single crochets. I go to the next chain space until the single crochet there. I crochet, and the next chain space is in the 3 chain spaces that were between the popcorn stitches. I crochet 2 single stitches in each of them. Now I make 2 chains. I come here around this long standing stitch from a long standing stitch. I weave a chain. I put the space of the single chain that I have between the 2 prominent long stitches and weave 5 long stitches. I will come again on the second stitch in the shape of a long standing stitch. I will crochet 2 chains. I will reach the chain spaces in the chain spaces. I will start again in each chain space. I will crochet 2 single stitches. This will be 4. Here are 2 single stitches, which can be 6. I'll come here. See below. I don't have anything to do with these 2 chain spaces after my popcorn stitch. I'll come here on these 2 single stitches that I have straight. I'll crochet 2 single stitches here on each of these single stitches. I have nothing to do with this chain space. I start in the chain space between the popcorn stitches. I have 3 chain spaces between the popcorn stitches in each space. Now I reach 2 single stitches, and the continuation of the pattern is repeated right from the beginning of the row. Knit in the same way until you reach this part of the beginning of our row. At the end of the 19th row, I finish on the single crochet, 1 chain on this single crochet, 1 single crochet, the second one, 1 single crochet. On the third, a single stitch, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Here in the chain space, 2 single stitches, then 1, 2, and 3 chains. In the single chain space, I crochet 4 double crochets, 2, 3, 4. I crochet above the popcorn stitch and reach the next chain space. In the next chain space, I crochet 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets. Next, I'll come around this long protruding base, the shape of a long base, a medium base, then a short base. As you can see up to now, this lower part, I'll come here and I will weave 4 short bases. 2, 3, and 4, up to 4 short bases. I now turn the work around. I come this way and start to weave 4 short bases on the opposite base. This is the 4th short base. Then I come to this upper part. Until the short base, I weave 1 medium base and 1 long base. Now look, this is where I started to weave the long bases in the first wheat. I tie a chain in the middle of the first long base. Two, three, and four on the four long bases. I put four short bases on the first. The fifth one becomes a short base, 1, 2, 3. I convert these three. I convert the three chains into a chain, and here on the fifth, another short base I will knit. Then on the next four long bases, I will knit one long base on each one so that it will be a total of four short bases. In fact, I take a fastener from the back of the work around this long base, pull it out, and make a raised fastener from the back so that the upper part of my work is angled. Then I make 1, 2, and 3 chains. I will come here to the space of 2 chains. Next to it, there are 1, 2 short bases here in the spaces. You can see we said that here in the spaces between the popcorns, each of them should have 2 short bases. This is one, this is the second one, and the next space also has 2 short bases, 1 base on each base. It is short. Here are 2 short bases. In the next space, we also have 2 short bases, where we weave 2 short bases. We reach this part in the middle of the top. See this petal. Here we also had 2 short bases, on each of which we put 1 short base. Can we continue in the same way until the next time this side of my work is again on short bases? Short bases, look this way. Here I am. We come to this part again where we want to make our petal up to 2 chain spaces, which I have completely explained in this section. Just one thing, see now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. You should have 18 short staples in this distance, so knit this row in the same way until we reach the end of the row. I will come to the end of row 20. A house is actually towards the back. Then I put 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. Actually, our work is done on these 2 bases behind this leaf. The bases now. I am knitting another double base, so you can see in this part I have 2 double bases here on these short bases that came from the top of my petal. 4, 5, I make 6 chains, I make 6 chains. I come in this chain space behind my petal, I knit a short base, then I make 1, 2, 3 chains again. In the space of the next chain, I will knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 chains of 6 short stitches. I will go around the hook twice. Here are the 2 short stitches that I have in the middle. If you look from here, you can see exactly from above this. We made 2 short bases, we came up or on the same 2 short middle bases until the double base. I knit the double bases that I weaved again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 chains of the next chain space, again 2 short bases, and so on. I repeat just like this part until I reach the end of this row. We reached the end of row 21 of this part. When I reached the end of the row, I hit the fastener and came with my fastener to reach these 2 short legs that I had here in this space. Now here, I'll show you, so that's enough. Let's go here on the short base that you have on this side and on that side of this petal. Come to the right side, start from the short base. Here we have 2 short bases. The number of your legs is 5 so far. Come here on this short leg behind. You have made petals so far. You can make 6 3 short bases. You add 2 and 3, which is the number of bases, 9 to 2 totals. Here we have short bases. On each of them, you put a short base. So you make 11 of these 2 bases. Short legs, up to these 2 short legs, if you want to count your short legs, you must have 11 short legs. This is the back. After you knit your short stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, knit 15 chains. The 15 chains you knit will come when your row is complete. You can see that in this row there is a lot of stretching. Here you can increase the number of your chain to 7, but I have knitted 6. And you can see that I have not stretched. Now what do we do for row 23? What do we do for row 23? We are coming forward again. We want to come to the 6 short base. This means exactly the single short base that we had behind this petal. Now look exactly, I am behind this short base. I am on this short base. Behind the petal here, I am putting a chain on the same base. I will make a short base with 2 chains, which can be equivalent to a long base. I will also make another long base in the same space so that I have a total of 3 long bases. I am going to weave these petals 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. I will reach this space where I made 15 chains. I will come to the space where I made 15 chains and 17 long legs. I weave 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 long legs in this space, 15 chains. So now, When this weaving is complete, this part will be formed. I'll make 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll again use these 4 chains between this short base I have behind this flower and leaf. I'm going to pick this short base and weave 3 long chains. Next, I weave 2, 3, 4 chains and repeat it. I weave 17 long chains like this, knit these stitches this way until we reach the end of the 23rd row. Upon reaching the first, in fact, we had 3 chains here, which can be equivalent to 1 long chain. We tighten onto the 3rd chain, finish the row, and start the 24th row. Look at this middle chain. I knit a long chain around this chain, which is semi-prominent on the front. I connect 3 of them, then I go to the same base where I just made 3 chains. I get the hang of it and weave another long chain there. It looks like this. Afterwards, I make 1, 2, 3 chains, and I come around here. The first base is 2.5 long chains. I weave and merge these 2 half-long chains together. Then I come from the base next and start weaving from the long base protruding from the back. We had 17 long chains here if you want to count the first one. And the last one, we weave 2 long semi-prominent chains from the front. Together, we claim we needed 15 long prominent chains from the back in this gap. Another matter that I did in the previous row was I saw my long stitches on my weave and it was not very beautiful. I unraveled it, went to the 15 chains I had. On my first chain, I added 2 long stitches, 13 middle chains, 1 long stitch each, and on my last chain, I added 2 long stitches for a total of 17. I have long chains as I work. It will look cleaner. If you want, you can do the same. That is, weave long chains on your chain. Only the first and the last chain will be 2 long chains. Look, I have now woven the long chains protruding from my back. Can you see the last one? This is where I am now. On this chain row, I had added 2 stitches on the last chain. I had also added 2 stitches on the first chain. Now I'm counting up to 15. So in this row, I have 2 stitches on the first stitch. Halfway through my weaving, I joined them together on the 15th middle base. I put a long protruding base from the back. Now on this last base, I weave 2 long protruding bases from the side and unite them together, and this is how my work appears. I will make the chain and come here. Pay attention. I will skip this first base, weave a long base on the middle base, then I will take its grain, weave a long base, then come around this middle base until the long base stands out from the half. I knit these 3 threads on the hook together, then I return to the same spot where I had just woven a long base. On this middle base, I had taken the long base, I had knitted a long base, and again knitted another long base with 3 chains. And I will repeat this until I reach the end of the row, and you can also knit my texture until the end in the same way.